All right, welcome everybody back to the Dave Knows Wrestling podcast. And today we're doing it live. Yet again, thank you so much for being here today. For those of you out there wondering, and yeah, I started a little bit later today than I normally do just because I wanted to see who else is out there and, maybe give a few more people a little bit of a chance to get on the show a little bit later. So here I am, and welcome. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, okay, what are we going to talk about today? Well, today I'm going to do a weekend review because a lot of interesting things have happened in the world of wrestling in the past week. As always, it just never stops. So one of the first things I want to talk about, hey, welcome to the show, everyone who's here now. How's it going? Now, one of the first things I want to talk about is the Braun Strowman Karen Angle incident. Yeah, I know that a lot of you might know what this is, but for those of you who don't know about the Braun Strowman Karen Angle incident, well, now's the time. All right, Airsoft Gaming. Hey, Dave. It's High Prestige. Got a new channel. Hey, that's awesome. Good for you with the new channel. Be sure to check that out, everyone who's here, as well as myself. Airsoft Gaming. Very nice. Gamer channel. I like it. Okay, so, well, welcome back. No stranger to the show, as you are. Well, we're talking about the Karen Angle Braun Strowman incident that happened on the weekend, over the weekend, right now. So, Kate Welsh. Hello, Dave. I hope you get more subs soon. Thank you. I hope so, too. Thank you very much, Kate. Very nice of you to say. Okay, so now that we got some people flowing in and now the show's going. Oh, hey, welcome, everybody. Yeah, just doing a weekend review this week. No crazy predictions, just a lot of stuff has happened. Glad you're over 1,000 now. Yes, I am too glad that I am over 1,000 as well. Big stuff. So thank you for that. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? So the first thing I do want to bring up is the Karen Angle Braun Strowman incident. Now, for those of you who don't know about this happened over the weekend. Braun Strowman was out to eat somewhere in a bar, and a woman walked up to him and said, that, the overall gist of the story was that she walked up to him and said, hey, can I get an autograph? Big fan of your work. Oh, wait. Well, damn. What's the damn deal, bro? Too sweet me. All right. Hey, Maurice Alexander. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back. Glad to have you here as well. So Braun Strowman, a woman walked out there, asked for an autograph. Now, the woman wanted an autograph for her son, and Braun was really dismissive of it, and there was a bunch of different kinds of, and there was tons of personalities there from both, Global Force Wrestling, WWE. It was a big public place, and a lot of people were there, from my understanding of it. And so what happened was, Braun was very dismissive of her, and it turns out she wasn't just any normal woman. She was Karen Jarrett, or formerly Karen Angle, and she was asking for her son. She was asking for an autograph for her son, who was, just a little boy, and he wasn't Jeff Jarrett's son. It was actually Kurt Angle's son from, their previous marriage. Oh, although the science of the stunner was already made by Lucha Labs, though. Yeah, I know. What's your opinion on the brawl between Strowman and Joe? Oh, well, we'll get to that temporarily. She put Braun and Angle in one guitar. Yeah, so he was very dismissive of her. She was all upset. Oh, wait, hold on, Maurice Alexander. Here's an idea. You can call your fans the know-it-alls. Ooh, haha, I like that. That's pretty good. Okay, but she didn't draw a dime. Okay, so it seems like you guys kind of know what this is all about. So yeah, he was very mean to her, and that's her son's favorite wrestler. And because of that, Kurt Angle was upset. She said, "Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to tell my ex-husband about how you treated me and his son, and his son who just wanted an autograph." And allegedly, Braun was down on his knees in public, begging her not to tell anyone. Now, clearly, because we know about this, I think she told. If not, there's a lot of witnesses who definitely word this around. So we're not sure yet if this is going to have any repercussions or not. Chad Gable's dad is Daniel Bryan. Yeah, as Daniel Bryan said, he's a very virile 5-year-old, or was a very virile 5-year-old. Oh, that was hysterical. So yeah, now here's the thing. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, not only because I think it's an interesting story, but also because, and I want to run this by you guys, but when it comes to a wrestler going with kayfabe outside of their personal lives, outside with their personal lives, outside of the business, where do they draw the line? How long do they maintain the personality? Cornette Braun is stolen for breaking kayfabe. See, here's the thing: the begging is what actually breaks the kayfabe, and so he does kind of go back and forth. But I was going to say, if he was just being mean and being dismissive of everyone and just staying in character, Braun, like I'm Braun, I don't give autographs, then I don't think there's a problem. And maybe that's what he was going for. And then as soon as Karen decided to approach him with the Kurt Angle saying, I'm going to rat you out to Daddy, Kurt Angle, then he freaked out and changed his mind and all of a sudden sang a different tune. If that's the case, well, then you just undid your own reason for doing it. But either way, I am curious to know what do you think about heel wrestlers in person, acting like heels versus acting like normal people. What do you think they should be doing when they're out there? And also, I know that Braun is kind of like, calling Braun a heel is kind of a gray area. He fits in a weird place. But also, Airsoft Gaming, roses are red, violets are blue. Roman always wins. Well, what can you do? Oh, now that is poetry in motion. I like that. Kenny and Kota will totally book themselves to fight a doll and a little girl Cornette. The entire scenario of Braun being an ass per se is all hearsay and most likely untrue. Really? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's talk about whether you guys think that's true or not. Faceman Buddha says. Okay, so that's a good point. Now, if it is fake, I don't think it is on the WWE's end, because why would they be promoting something with Global Force or TNA? They typically don't interact with outside groups, so I don't think it would come from their end. It has to do with Jarrett. Okay, yeah, and I was going to say then that's the other side of it. So it's for them. It is for them to be in the news. RVD is coming back. I can't wait. I hope RVD comes back, because RVD definitely needs at least one more run. Okay, but yeah, all right. Now, see, here's the thing. If TNA did, or Global Force Wrestling, if they did make it up, and they're the ones doing this to try and get publicity and trying to take one of WWE's hottest stars at the time right now and really take them down a peg or two, that would be pretty good. I would totally believe that. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up, whoever gave that. I think that's a pretty good way to work it. The video games always bring something back. Kurt Angle's already back. Yeah, yes, it was me. Thank you, Faceman Buddha. You are awesome. So here's the thing. Yeah, so like I was going to say, so if it is Global Force Wrestling trying to get some recognition, and really just try to bite off of Braun's fame, that's not a bad strategy. It might be dirty, but I gotta admit, I kind of like it. I kind of think it's cool that you took a cheap shot like that. And yeah, it kind of sucks for Braun, but hey, shots fired, right? And especially if it works. Yes, shady. It is, man. But here you go. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's real? Do you guys think this is real? Do you think this is more nonsense they're making up, or how do you decide on the incident? And like I said, I am curious to know about you guys. What do you feel about the whole idea of wrestlers, their personalities outside of the ring, when they're out in public? Are they supposed to maintain kayfabe? Are they supposed to have a normal life? What do you think? So if you run up, because this is an issue for wrestling fans and wrestling industry people all across the board. I've had people on my show who go back and forth on it, say that they want to meet that guy in character. If they run into him on the street, they want that. They want him to be in character. If it means they don't get an autograph, they don't get an autograph, because the experience of a heel yelling at them is more important than getting a little signed piece of paper. But then I have other people on the other hand saying, hey, we all know it's fake. Call it what it is, and be nice to me and my child when I'm around or whatever. So so I definitely like to see what you guys are going to weigh in for this. Batista isn't going to come back because he is doing Marvel stuff, and numbers don't lie, Joe. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say never, because only the thing is, when it comes to wrestling, I think we all know this, you never say never, just because almost every time you do, something happens, and it's always a surprise. So I keep the door open, but it is looking very unlikely that Batista would come back. Airsoft Gaming. Roses are red, violets are blue. Roman will at SummerSlam, so what's next to do? We'll win. Yeah. Now, when it comes to Roman... we can bring that up. When it comes to the Roman Reigns at SummerSlam... I'm not necessarily against that idea. I know, I'm not a Roman Reigns fan, and don't think I've changed my stance on this in any way, shape, or form. But my thing is, the one thing I want to avoid is the Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, Louisiana. I really, really, really want to avoid that at all possible costs because I'm so sick and tired of Roman Reigns at the main event. And I know him winning the belt doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to the main event. And if anything, he's probably going to keep it until then. But my thing is, we've seen Brock and Roman over and over again. Well, you know, we've seen it at WrestleMania. Okay, maybe we haven't seen it a lot, but still, it's a dud main event for WrestleMania. We don't need it twice in a row. We need less of that. So if it pushes it in the Roman versus Cena card for the main event, am I happy that Roman Reigns is in the main event for the title? No, but at least it's something a little different. And I think we've waited long enough. They're going to try to make, you know, the Cena Roman Reigns thing to be like a dream match. It's not. No one cares. But at least, you know, pull the trigger on this so we can start moving on to the next thing. Okay, Cade Welch, Chris Benoit, and Punk come back to do their match at Vengeance. Never say never. Okay, fine. Yes, Chris Benoit's never coming back, and the Macho Man never came back. Like I said, almost every time. But CM, that would be an amazing match, though. But CM Punk, I know it seems very unlikely that he'll ever come back, but you can't. You know, I still maintain a possibility, or like, you know, in 30 years from now, that you never know, maybe CM Punk gets inducted in the Hall of Fame. Okay, did you hear about VKM's idea of sending some down to NXT since they're not being used on the main? Yes, and I was totally going to bring that up. That was the next thing I want to bring up before we get into that. Doggy Rusev should go over Brock. I'm not opposed to that necessarily. RR is VKN's boy toy, like JC and JBL. He likes the yes men to appease his ego. He absolutely does, Face Man. I'll give you that. Face Man, is that an A-Team reference? Because if so, awesome. I don't know if you just like the word, you know, name or not, or if you're a big A-Team fan. But if so, good for you. Agent Christian's show is canceled. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The Agent Christian's show, I didn't think really had dances a jig into the chat. Hey, City Midget! Yes! Yes, friends call me Face Man. Awesome. A-Team is solid. Okay, welcome back, City Midget. And thanks for that amazing entrance. Okay, I never watched the show, though. Oh. Well, it's a pretty good show. Pretty good show. Do you think Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe versus Lesnar versus Strowman should be for latter in the year? Nah, spoiler, Seth Rollins win the tag team championship. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? I'll get to that real quick before we get into the roster shakeup. Okay. So no, I don't think this Fatal 4-Way is too late in the year. I do understand what you're meaning because I would like SummerSlam's main event to be a one-on-one, and I do think that this is more of a nonsense feud where, you know, each guy should get their chance at Brock and then fail, and then you do a Fatal 4-Way. That's the normal progression of things. But fine, they don't want to do this because Brock's time period is limited, and if their goal is to get the strap off of him, yeah, they should take it off of him at SummerSlam. And the thing about it is, Brock, they never should have given him this belt in the first place, as far as I'm concerned. His part-time availability is ridiculous, and it has no good value of it for this title. You know, this, especially since the Universal title, as I said previously, is new. So, you know, you got to let it have a few legs to stand on before you just start passing it around like they've been doing it, especially to part-timers like Goldberg and Brock, who don't even get the chance to really defend it and build the title's prestige. I know a lot of people just view it as the same belt, but in my head, I'm still conscious of the idea that it is a new title. Okay, so Brent in a wheelchair. Brent in a wheelchair, Roman boy toy. You can't Superman punch me, Roman. Does it a second later. Yep, UFC. Yeah, and Brock possibly going to the UFC. But even if Brock's not going, I still think the belt never should have been given to him, and I kind of would have liked it if the belt does get off of him to free it up for Mania and subsequent events. Because I don't need Brock in another main event. I really don't. John Jones versus the Beast Brock Lesnar, possibly. I don't really know much about UFC, so I'll be honest. If that's like a joke answer for a match, I didn't get it. Good, but I hear what you mean. But so for the timing of this match, we have to do it now. I would prefer it if it was just a one-on-one between Braun and Brock, and Braun wins it. But if not, okay, well, we'll take this and for what it's worth. I also don't understand why Joe gets a rematch. He lost clean, and he just demands a rematch, and just like Roman Reigns demands a rematch. Both of them lost at Great Balls of Fire, and both of them just are number one contenders. Why? I don't know, and I've said that before. Finn Balor and Seth in the main event, please. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so now let's get into this hearsay rumored superstar shakeup that's going to happen after SummerSlam. We've just had one after WrestleMania. Also, Nevin out of 205 Live. Ooh, but then 205 Live is even more screwed. Not that it isn't already. Brock leaves the UFC. Dolph Ziggler quits. Daniel Bryan back to Ring of Honor. Okay, great. All right, perfect. Now this is the thing. So if you don't know what should you do main event who should and who is going to the main event of WrestleMania? I do think it's going to be Roman and Cena, if not Roman and Brock, but I do think it's going to be Roman and Cena at WrestleMania's main event this year. That's what I think. Look, I know. I like the idea of a cruiserweight division. Fine, they haven't done it right since the tournament. I totally give you that. I hold on to hope that it could be good. Anyway, I'm sure by next year we won't see 205 anymore. Anyway, unless something really big happens. But okay, so here's the way it's gonna. Okay, Vince Kennedy McMahon should swap Jax and Bliss for Becky and Charlotte, so that Raw will have all the real women wrestlers on it, and then SD Live can have all the contracted girls to Total Bellas. That's solid reasoning. Although, I mean, I do think Bliss can go. I don't think she's like a terrible wrestler. I think she's all right. Now, yeah, granted, I'm kind of biased just because of I'm all about her, but I do think she's okay. I think she can hold her own. I don't think she's Nikki Bella, or anything like that. She's not that bad. I think she is a wrestler. I think she qualifies. It is a being the elite reference. Oh, cool. Raw, Roman always wins. That, unfortunately, that seems to be true. So the Superstar Shakeup, we just had one in WrestleMania. We're having, allegedly, there are rumors going around that we're going to have another one after SummerSlam. But the big difference between this one and the previous ones are NXT is part of it. And that doesn't mean that just NXT guys are going up, but it means that the possibility of main roster guys going to NXT. So, it's strange because some people still view NXT as developmental. Well, some people are saying, oh, thank you for the thumbs up, thank you for like whoever that was. And some other people are saying that when it comes to NXT now, it's its own brand. It's so beyond developmental. It's not even the case anymore. Developmental is really performance center, but NXT in and of itself is its own brand, and that's a different debate. But thank you for everyone else for the thumbs up, and you guys are great, and welcome to the room if you haven't been here already. Nikki sucks. Agreed. She is all right, but not on the level. No, she isn't. I'm just saying, but I like her a lot. She needs to get better in the ring. Yeah. I mean, she's not a Charlotte, or I'm not trying to make that anyway. Shape or form the thing. Natalya would also have to go over to Raw too if we're trying to get all the. I mean, I know she's a total divas kind of girl, but I'm just on that show. But I'm just saying, she's a good wrestler. Natalya's a great wrestler. Should the Attitude Era come back? We'll get to that later. So, who can beat Brock for a title and not incite laughs from us? That's a hard one because. Oh, jeez. That's a tough. Not incite laughs from us, the fan base. That's a tough one. Emma, push please. They only started using her when she broke up with Zack Ryder. Yeah, Emma is so overdue. So overdue because she's really, really good. And I kind of would like to do her face turn. I kind of miss the old quirky Emma. Like, I know the quirky type doesn't really go over well on the main roster. Bayley has proven that, but I like that. And I think it's a great. I think it's great attitude. And I just think they need to treat it better and use it well. Hey, Dave. Hey, Ronnie S. How's it going? Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. Samoa Joe is a possibility, sure. Finn Balor, I love Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor is really good. The only problem is I don't know if he can take it off of Brock just because it's Brock. He's, a refrigerator with a head and legs. And Finn Balor is, built like a really muscular, normal-sized human being. So that's the only thing. So I'm kind of, visually I'm not sure, Once again, I'm going to stick to my default answer. Cesaro. I want it to be Cesaro. I don't think that will happen, but I want it to be Cesaro. Triple H should have 4 divisions: NXT, CW, UK, and women, and have them all interact with each other. Yeah, I'm not completely opposed to that either. I'm assuming that you're also main roster's another division. I'm assuming you're also talking about Faceman. Kept away from Vince Kennedy, McMahon, and the main. Oh, okay. kept it separate from him. Yeah, that's fair. I kind of thought that's where things were going, and it just never happened. Fearless Nikki is the greatest Divas champion ever, because I need to really, I don't know, Paige is a Divas champion. Paige was pretty strong. Just off the top of my head, you Brock will compete on Raw again. Oh, good question. At this rate, it doesn't seem like it. At this rate, I would say no. Yeah, I would like it if Vince retired too. He might, but yeah, that's a good question. If Brock will ever have a match on Raw again, I don't think so. It doesn't seem that way, but maybe. Vince, please retire. Agreed. Triple H can handle it. Vince. Triple H has done some good work. I am not going to take that away from him, but Triple H has scared me on multiple occasions where he does things that I'm like, what? Why are you doing this? So, same thing. And, also with the Road Dogg. I like the Road Dogg, but he's made some questionable... Thank you for the thumbs up. He's also done some questionable things. Dave Knows Wrestling Podcast, by the way. Obviously, you know that. UK show, when? When? I agree. When is this going to happen? Should have happened by now. Should blading make a comeback? In my opinion, it should, but, being, rare Hell in a Cell matches. AJ Lee, yeah, there's another great Divas champion. Okay, yeah, absolutely. See, plenty. Vince McMahon, Eagles retire. Okay, so, we're gonna, I'll get back to that whole Superstar Shake-Up thing in a minute, but let's talk about the bleeding and the Attitude Era thing, because I think it's kind of happening. Triple H still has his clicks. Absolutely. That's the problem, is the clicks that he still has. He still keeps his own company. And, people know that Vince McMahon is taking care of, people who feed his ego kind of thing. Triple H is not that different. And yeah, granted, he seems to support certain guys that we like, but he still seems to penalize. Triple H doesn't like CM Punk. Triple H has always had a problem with CM Punk, and despite the fact that CM Punk did do a good run, we can't say that Triple H always utilized CM Punk correctly, because he didn't. So that's my thing. That there are some, and I know everyone's human, and personal petty gripes is a thing that happens. So, people are like that, but what's the best for the fans and the business? Triple H doesn't always seem to have that in mind. Always. In recent years, he seemed to know that much better than Vince. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, guys. But I'm not sure he always has that mentality. I'd be fine with never seeing Brock again. Yeah, that's fair. I think they made a bigger deal out of him than he is. He's not that big of a deal that we have to, all bow down and say, oh, yay, Brock Lesnar. He is what he is, and call it what it is. Do you think Del Rio is controlling? And have you seen the recent images of Paige really unhealthy? No, I have not seen the recent images of Paige really unhealthy. That's disturbing to know. That's very unfortunate. Do I think he's controlling? In my personal opinion, I don't know anything about it, but yeah, I do. I just look at the fact that since they got together, how many bad incidences or public problems or whatever has come up since they've been together? How many things have happened in her life? Beforehand versus now, after they got together. Now, this could be a coincidence. She's a young person, and young people, young things happen in young people's lives. You never know, but I'm just saying it just seems like an eerie coincidence. And his inconsistencies on a lot of his statements, like why he gets in the, he's gotten arrested or get into fights or, some sort of public altercation, and his reasons or timings for no showings and stuff like that just don't seem to line up. So, yeah, I do pin it on him. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like to me. Next, Faceman says, they said after the women's in regards to the UK guys. Yeah, I know they said that, but, WWE says a lot of things. I want to hear Fall to Pieces again. All right. Yeah, that'd be nice. True. He is like a mini Vince McMahon. Very true. Yep. See, Faceman, you know where I'm coming from. Do you think they should have a second women's title like they do with the that's a good question there, Soft. Look, here's the thing. Yes, because mid-card belts do help flesh out a roster, but they don't have enough women to justify it. That's the thing. They need a whole lot more, and if that's the case, a mid-card title for women's, yes. But if that's the case and they're going to have a mid-card division, they really need to separate it, and women need to get their own show, because they're not going to have enough time to develop two divisions in it, as well as the fact that, like I said, they just don't have enough women. But I do think a mid-card title really does help to flesh out a roster and really helps you to know who's coming up next to the main event and makes the main event a little more special, instead of just being a rotating cast of who gets their turn this week. He brought back Bruno, though. Yeah, he did. Yeah, like I said, he's done good things. I'm not going to take that away from him. He's done great things, and he does really love wrestling. But does he love the fans? Does he love what we want as much? That's the problem I have. So his interests aren't always the best. Where I think if you get a guy like, and you could say everyone's like that, but then you get a guy like Shane McMahon. I would say Shane McMahon seems to be always to the good. Shane McMahon, I think, seems to have his best interest in mind for his employees and his fans. So that's once again just what I think, what I feel. I'm only interested in seeing Brock drop the strap. Other than that, he's a one-trick pony, in my opinion. Yeah, he's gotten to that case. He wasn't always City Midget. But yeah, nowadays it definitely he's really limited himself. So I don't see why they're catering to him so much. Plus, think of all the revenue it would free up if they just stopped paying him. Airsoft Gaming, WWE want Chris Benoit gone so they can scoop low and go WrestleMania 20. Yeah, more retconning of Chris Benoit. Welcome to the chat. If you guys are just joining us, welcome. Please stop dating him, Paige. Yeah, please. But hey, it's kind of tough to quit someone, as I think many people know. Alan and Paige are both dysfunctional, which is why they got together. Now, see, that's a possibility. That's a possibility they both were messed up or dysfunctional, and that's why they got together in the first place. But if that's the case, it seems that it can also exacerbate some difficulties, when people are having. So that's also not a good idea. Like, I know that, that's the mentality, like, for a lot of things, like you see, but it can also make things worse. So, but like I said, I'm not involved. I don't know them, so it's also hard to judge. But I am allowed to speculate, and that's just what I think. Insane Nation, hey, welcome. What is the best storyline today in WWE? I think it's the Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose slowly, possibly mending fences. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever that was. Hey, it's Ray. Welcome back. What do you think about the Triple H versus Punk in 2011? Do you think that he buried Punk? Yeah, I do, because that's what Triple H does better than anyone, is burying people. City Midget, Benoit was amazing in the ring, and it's a damn shame his personal life tainted his legacy. Absolutely agreed. And I'm not one of those people who actually think we should. Now, I know, as if I remember correctly, Cena gave an interview about it recently saying that, yes, these things do affect, and wrestlers' personal lives do affect how we look at their legacy. I don't necessarily agree, just because I think of a lot of songs and musicians I like. There are tons of songs I like, and if I thought about the people who wrote them or composed them, I might not be able to like them if I took that into account. So I have to just take the song for what it's worth, and ignore the fact that the person who did it might have been a horrible person. I just have to like the song for the song, and that's kind of how I equate to it, But yes, Benoit is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, undoubtedly. Faceman Buddha says, yes, perfect point about a second belt for a women's division. Yeah, need more, okay, I gotta catch up. Need more women that can wrestle. Yeah, but I think the tournament's gonna get us there. I think we're gonna see a lot more come about, which is good. Whoa, I am like super behind. Okay, your Hojo better win the women's classic. Okay, yeah, not calling the Mae Young Classic. Fair, no problem. Roses are red, violets are blue. Your channel is underrated. Hope you have realized, or more people will. Yeah, well, thank you, Airsoft Gaming. Thank you for the poetry, and thank you for the support. And I definitely appreciate your support, for sure. Shane and Triple H combo, run the Fed. I'd rather just a Shane combo, because I think they might get along because they're family, but, they've proven that they have very different mentalities. At least that's what it seems like to me. City Midget, even when WWE has great women's talent, it's wasted. Look at Victoria, Karma, or Gail Kim. 3 amazing examples. Although the Karma one, I gotta admit, with her getting pregnant did throw them off. But yes, very good examples. And the only reason I'll defend it is because that was a different time. They didn't really know how to push it forward like they are now. And that is only thanks to NXT. Rey Mysterio versus Kalisto, book it, Vince. Yes, would like that. Vince. Rey Mysterio, I know, is, or from what I've been told, Rey Mysterio is kind of hesitant on being labeled as a cruiserweight, but he's definitely needed for a cruiserweight division, and I think that needs to happen. Along with Kalisto, he needs to be there too. Dakota Jennings, hey, what is going on? Welcome to the chat. Vacant. Okay, Cade Welch, Vacant won the title at 20 and then held it at SummerSlam where he dropped the title to Randy Orton. Yeah, that's right. Vacant won at WrestleMania 20. That's right. It was a blank spot. There's also there's a picture of Chris Benoit and Hulk Hogan standing in the ring and with a ref, and then there was a caption that I saw where it said, "Why is the referee standing in an empty ring?" Dave Knows Wrestling versus what culture? Ooh, 34 main event. Nope, not a fight, just a debate. Oh, I would like that too. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to start anything right now. I love what culture. Okay, I absolutely love it. But there's I don't want to start any. I really don't want to start any debates. But yeah, there are aspects of what culture that I don't love. I'll put it that way. So yeah, that would be fun for me. And any exposure with what culture, interaction with what culture, I would love because they're great. They're great. Good point, D. Thank you. Let's call him Pegasus Kid if you don't want to mention him. Yeah, or he who shall not be named. Give him the Voldemort treatment. Hey, bro, what's going on? Hey, Mind S, what's up? You have a great voice and a personality and got a wrestling channel. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of those compliments individually. That is cool. I like that a lot. Thank you very much, and welcome to the channel, and I'm glad you're here. Okay, Welch. Finn was the second Pegasus Kid. Yep, he was Pegasus 2. And I think it's also a shame they can't talk about what was his influence. I've mentioned this on my channel. I mentioned this on this channel before about how, like, the legacy. Or at least I think I have. I don't remember, or I meant to. Either way, I've talked about the legacy of Chris Benoit, Dynamite Kid, Chris Benoit, and then Finn Balor, where you could kind of see the inklings of what made someone, makes someone someone. Oh, and by the way, today is yesterday was officially, technically speaking, the 1-year anniversary. I kind of launched the channel earlier than that, so that's why Wednesday's episode was my 1-year anniversary show. But technically, this is the date of my first video. Yesterday was the date of my first video drop. So I also want to go live for that. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, phone battery's going down, so just gotta plug this dude in, and we'll continue like it never happened. Like it never happened. There you go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks for being here. All right. So where was I? King Ross. Hello. I kind of like King Ross. No, King Ross. I mean, I get it if you don't, but yeah, King Ross is not what I meant. John O'Clock. LOL. Nice. Okay. Also, collab with NJPW, please. I would love that. Yeah. New Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't get enough love. I think. I mean, I know globally really big and they're the second biggest wrestling company in the world, but they could be bigger. I think. And I would love it if they were. What do you think if Triple H versus Hulk Hogan versus Michaels in a 3-way? Who would win? I think HBK will lose his smile right for a match. That is awesome. And yes, he probably would. That is great, right? I like that a lot. Dakota Jennings, Brock versus Samoa Joe. The thing is, they wasted that at Great Balls of Fire. Jim Cornette wanted that to be the main event of WrestleMania, and I gotta admit, that's not the worst one. Congratulations, brother. Hey, thank you. So, I'm still laughing about that. That comment. All right, but yeah, I think the fact that they already did it kind of tarnishes its possibility for a WrestleMania main event. But I know they already did Roman Reigns and Brock, and I want to do that again. Okay, Dave Knows Wrestling versus YouTube Wrestling versus JBO. Oh, Bradshaw. Because you cost me Mauro Ranallo, I'm never, ever going to forgive you that. I know, NXT, but I wanted Mauro on the main roster, and I'm never going to forgive you for that. I really like Mauro Ranallo not. And I believe, now it's a little soon to say, but I think, I told this to a bunch of my friends, and they were saying they can't believe I made this decision already, but I think Mauro Ranallo is my second favorite play-by-play of all time. I think. Just throwing that out there. If you could have a 4 versus 4 Survivor Series match in 2017, who would you have in the team? Ooh, good question. 2017. Oh, I had this for a couple years. Okay, hold on. Let me think on that for a second. Spider-Man was a legit champ in DDT. Huh? Yeah, I would love it if Spider-Man. I know everyone hates they're trying not to do Spider-Man origin stories, but yeah, if we could focus on the pro wrestling part of Spider-Man a little more in an origin story, I'd like that. That'd be pretty cool. All right, City Midget. Don't know if you've seen it, but there's a fantastic little vid any wrestling fan is sure to enjoy. Well, I don't know what it is, but I'm game. Oh, right there. Can't click on it now, but definitely would like to check that out. So thank you for the recommendation. Insane Nation, who is the best tag team in the last 10 years? The Usos, in just my opinion. 10 years. Okay, I'm trying to think of what the Dudleys have done in the past 10 years. That's not a bad choice. That really isn't. Who's your favorite Von Erich? It would be Kerry. It would be Kerry Von Erich because of what he did with Mr. Perfect. I fought some Marines, then I lost my smile, then converted to Christianity. I was still an asshole. Kate Welch, you are awesome. Raw Critic, welcome. Who is your favorite Von Erich? By the way, yeah, I just answered it. Okay, I'm getting. Okay, D. How do you feel about the Bailey situation? Her character was assassinated, but now it seems Vince Kennedy has changed his mind once again. Yeah, they totally dropped the ball on her. She should have taken it from Charlotte at WrestleMania with her streak going intact. They never gave her the proper footing. They kind of ruined her. He is bipolar. I think just 2 is not enough. I think he's mercurial. I think he changes his mind all the time, which happens to a lot of really successful people when they hit when they start sundowning. It just happens. I've noticed. Do you think the Young Bucks? The Young Bucks aren't a bad answer. Now I know they get a lot of flack, and I've met them. Very nice guys. And I hear it to a point, but they are fun. But so they're definitely contenders for sure. Okay, so Survivor Series. Let me try to catch up with the chat, and then I'll try to answer both those questions. If you could have a 6-pack match, what would the rest would be? Oh man, see now I got another great question. Okay, Dave, you were starting doing Raw and SmackDown reviews. Here's the thing. Now I don't know. I've briefly talked about this in the very beginning of this channel last year. Ollie Davis was really kind to me. He gave me a couple of pointers, and I know people who are fans of Ollie, Wrestle Talk News, actually came over here and they told me that that's the reason why they found me. And so I gotta admit, I kind of looking to stay away from doing stuff that Ollie does. Like I know I'm doing a weekend review now, but see the thing is like I feel better about it because it's a weekend review and it's not like a daily news update site like a channel like Ollie does and Wrestle Talk News does. So I kind of want to stay away from their turf just because I think Ollie's great and Wrestle Talk and now Luke Owen and everything. So but I hear you. I hear you on that, and I like that you're interested. So thank you. But I don't know. I just could try to stay clear of that territory. But if there's enough demand comes about, I wouldn't be opposed to it, and especially if Wrestle Talk doesn't seem to care if I do it or not. Which you guys, let me know in the comments if you're interested. Face man, yep. Okay, Raw Critic. Kevin is my personal favorite. Okay. Kate, Ric Flair from my home state never wants Cena to break the record. I didn't want him to tie it either. So I'm with you on that one, Kate. I think me and you got a lot. We think very similar. I would love to see a 4 to 6 man battle royal elimination match at Survivor Series for the title. That's not bad. I do like elimination matches. I think a lot of multi-man matches should be elimination. Who are your top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time? And is Buddy Rogers on the list? Buddy Rogers not on the list. And I know I've been getting this a lot. I keep planning on doing a list of my favorite wrestlers of all time. That's getting high in demand. And I think I have to get on it. I've had a very busy couple of weeks. Just throwing it out there. I've been really busy. You guys seen the 1 year anniversary show? I've been working on a movie. I've been doing a lot of acting stuff and working on a movie for the past couple of weeks. So I've been kind of behind on a lot of things I need to do. So, but that's out there. I mean, I'm getting it out there, as you know, but it hasn't been coming out as easy. Hey, welcome to the chat, whoever, if you're just joining us. But I intend to do that video. It's coming. I'm working on it. It's coming. Kane and Flair are some of our favorite wrestlers I want to be like when I become a wrestler. Yeah, and that's a great... the thing that's crazy to me is, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I heard him give an interview where he said Ric Flair was his favorite wrestler of all time, and I didn't see that coming. I know Ric Flair is really influential, but when we're talking about the Pegasus Kid and, the Dynamite Kid and Finn Balor, you could see the connection, but, like, Flair and Austin, I was really surprised by because they're very different, but I thought that was cool to know. Who's the most underrated WWE woman right now? Bailey or Natalya, because Natalya, I know Natalya just got it, but Natalya, she's been there. They talk about how Paige started a women's resolution. What, you're pretending like Natty ain't there? I kind of think she doesn't get a lot of credit either. But Bailey's they've been sleeping on her lately. So Bailey or Natalya, I would say. Eat, sleep, be the bull, crap out, JBL, repeat. All right. Insane Nation, 1977. Dusty had some good matches with Superstar Billy Graham for WWE Championship, but would never won the belt. If he didn't, what would have happened in WWF? And Dusty himself. Man, what would have happened? That would have been big. Question is, where would they have gone from there? Because I think a big part leading into Hulkamania was the fact that Backlund was there and to lose it to Sheik and then lose it to Hulk Hogan. And I think it's interesting because a lot of people don't talk about Backlund and the passing of the torch, the American All-Star kind of thing there. But not that Dusty wouldn't have been a bad choice. Dusty and Sheik would have had a good match. That's an interesting question. City Midget, RVD. So yeah, guys, think about that because that's a pretty good one. City Midget, RVD, HBK, Jake the Snake, Robert, Macho Man, and Ricky Dragon Steamboat in no particular order. Not a bad list, except one answer, but, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Faceman Buddha, so what is up with Lana and Tamina connection? Ugh, both are hard in the ring. I don't know, they just got this thing where they need to have a, glamorous, mean heel female and a big, strong bodyguard type female. Just the thing they do. Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass. All right, Stone Cold Boy, styling and profiling. Wooed your ass. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. But yeah, all right. Yeah, right? Isn't that a weird combo? Would Hogan wrestling be watchable considering he's close to 70? I don't think so. Don't get me wrong, I'd watch it, but I don't think it'd be any good. His last couple of matches weren't really good, so, I'm just saying. Are you familiar with the wrestler Jay White, and do you like him? Kind of. I have a friend who showed me some of it. I won't say I'm familiar just because I haven't gotten a lot of them, but from what I saw, I like. Six-man match, what are the WRO? WR0. I'm not sure I follow that. Hogan was a blatant ripoff of Austin Idol and Superstar Billy Graham. And let's not forget Jesse the Body Ventura. Let's not forget him. He's also somebody Hogan ripped off. Wrestlers. Okay, all right. Six-pack challenge. Okay, okay, hold on. Survivor Series six-pack challenge. And I'm sorry, but there was something else that was asked. Hogan versus Roman Reigns. Finally can't go. Roman win. JBL versus the locker room. They can't get back on. JBL versus the locker room. They said they don't feel right. What kind of show are they running? That's pretty good. Okay, people rip off all the time. Yeah, they do. And it's just a common thing. Like, and some, or people are inspired by it, and some people say it's a ripoff. Yeah, I agree with that, Robbie Starr. Good point. Six-pack challenge. Okay, 6 wrestlers right now. Now, I want to see a lot of good wrestlers and chemistry. I'm probably not going to have a big group, but I'm going to say Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Antonio Cesaro, in case you guys are tired of hearing that. I'm going to say it again. Antonio Cesaro. I'm hovering with the idea of Jason Jordan. He might be a little too green, but Jason Jordan possibly. Actually, you know what? If I'm going to have a big guy, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Yeah, that would be my six-pack. 4-4 Survivor Series match. Now, a couple of years ago, it was so much easier. Okay, but now, the problem is they broke up all the tag teams. Because I think a good Survivor Series match should have 2 tag teams on each, should have a tag team, 1 on each side, 2 tag teams. And then, a couple of solo stars. Lucha Underground treating Ricochet dirty. I don't know if you guys look at my Twitter, but if you do, there was a picture that was retweeted of Ricochet and Ricochet put up wishing Triple H a happy birthday and saying, see you soon. Don't know what that's about, but I also wanted to bring that up today. So there you go. So just throwing that out there. Ricochet wished Triple H a happy birthday on Twitter. Okay, season 3 finish airing, please. So yeah, possibly coming over because I heard the story. Now I don't know. I don't have any. I can't cite it or anything like that. I have no citation for it. But I heard the story that Ricochet was actually there for NXT and instantaneously, the entire locker room fawned over him and treated him like a star. And then I was told that Triple H and or Vince McMahon didn't like it and said, "Okay, bye, Ricochet," and he got fired just for that alone. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that was a story I heard. And if that's the case, it makes it even more interesting that Ricochet reached out to Triple H to wish him a happy birthday. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever that was. Thank you. Okay, the Shield versus the Wyatts. Strowman. Yes, here's the thing. That's what I mean. The entirety of the Wyatt family with Strowman, 4 of them, versus back they did a little while ago. They had a match at Survivor Series, but I wanted this: all of the Wyatts versus Kane and the Undertaker, and then Kane and the Undertaker say, "Hey, let's make this a traditional Survivor Series match," and we got two boys to round out the team that we think are, masters of the dark like we are, and then they bring in the Ascension to re-push the Ascension and make the Ascension they're down with the Undertaker and Kane. That would make them cool, and then you would have that would be the Survivor Series match. That's a match I wanted, and I didn't get it, obviously, but that's a match I wanted. Now it's so much harder because everybody's all split up. Very straight to Neville decides to be released. Sad. Oh, I saw the pic of Ricochet and his weird hair. Yeah, that really weird hair, that really weird... he looks way better with it short. JBL bullied me. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. And I hate you, JBL, for even possibly bullying you. So I'm sorry for that you had to go through that, Airsoft Gaming. It's not fair. It's not right. You didn't deserve it. It's not your fault. Who would want to match Hogan to do a senior citizen leg drop? I feel like there's a lot of guys with a sense of humor. I feel like Xavier Woods would totally be down. To just take a leg drop. Okay. Shield, Y Family, Bullet Club, Broken Hardys, all teams I wanted Survivor Series. Yep, that sounds pretty strong. See, all the Wyatts versus the entire Broken Family would have been bad too. I don't. Okay. Hey, Warhawk Rambo, welcome. Message retracted. Never mind. I said nothing. JBL likes big sweaty men. No judgment. He is an undead Puma man. Give him a break, guys. What do you think about WWE going off season? I've actually thought about this a lot. I kind of think they should have an off season just to give guys time to heal, but they should also alternate, like SmackDown and Raw. Like WrestleMania would be the start of one show season and the end of another. Just to alternate. So you get wrestling year round, but at least they have an off season. I actually think it's a good idea. Watching the Ascension is like watching a mini kiss. Yes. I don't know if that's bad or not. King Ross reference. Oh, God. Oh, yes! Big sweaty Puma man. Okay, yeah. all right, my bad. I got it now. That's pretty good. I don't think Hogan can do a leg drop anymore. I think he can. I don't know if he'll get up, but he can. Crime Time versus Fashion Police. Please. Whoa, that's got potential. Hogan did it in a commercial recently. Oh, there you go. Okay, so he can't do it. Good for him. Okay, so the Survivor Series match. What do I want? Broken Hardys. Yeah, let's stick them in there for sure on the good guy front. Bad guy front. What's a good heel tag team out there right now? You know what? Actually, I wouldn't mind. Forget the Broken Hardys. I want the New Day plus. I'm trying to think of a super over face right now. Big face. That's really popular and people like a lot. You know what? Okay, this is getting harder. Okay, I want the Shield to come back, and I want the New Day. This is going to be a weird match. And at the top of... And also, Shield versus Wyatt should have been a Survivor Series match. But anyway, Shield... Okay, so the 3 Shield members finally reunite. New Day members. And I wouldn't mind... So it's going to be a face versus face thing. And I wouldn't mind if... To round out both rosters, you had... Braun Strowman and John Cena. That's just what keeps coming to my head. So I'm going to say John Cena with the New Day and Braun Strowman with the Shield because I want to see the tension of Roman and Braun having to work together. That's what I'm going to say off the top of my head. It may change, but off the top of my head, there you go. And if you can come up with a better one, please do and let me out of this because I know that's not the best answer. Okay. Whoa. Subbed again. Hey, thank you very much for subbing again. Airsoft. Hogan did the commercial recently. I think each wrestler should have off season like 3 months. Yeah, I think they wrestle way too much. I'll be the first one to agree to that. WWE should have gang wars or bring back Bullet Club, Balor Club, Gallows, Anderson, Shield Reunion, Wyatt, Strowman. Yep, I'm down. I like factions. I like tag teams. I think they're cool. He exposed the business in the commercial, though. Yes, he did, didn't he? The club. Yes, Kate. Yes, Kate, I hear you. Hogan should do a Help I Fall Kicking Up commercial. Oh, man. When that day comes, I'm going to be so sad, especially if he admits to any old person problems, because Hulkamania is immortal. Insane. What are the top 5 biggest dream matches in history of pro wrestling? Me personally, or, that people talk about? Wagwan. Subbed recently, by the way, underrated channel. Thank you so much. I am Ajiza. Thank you. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you for appreciating this channel. Thank you. Thank you very much. Insane. As if he was going to have time to name all those 5 matches. Yeah, I know. Well, I love that this chat is going at a fast pace. And I know there's another question you guys asked me, and I totally forgot what it was. And I wanted to get back to it. I really did. And you are very knowledgeable about the business. Thank you. Thank you. I try. I really do. Brother, we're in to help Jimmy stop yelling at me with a microphone. Do you think WWE should let their wrestlers wrestle the best they can, or is it okay the way it is? I think there needs to be some things, because wrestling the best they can, well, what does that mean? I do want to see more chain, and I want to see more storytelling, and WWE is really good at storytelling. But there's a lot of athletics that wrestlers should be able to do and be able to show. But at the same hand, we can't have too much where it's just a display of, hey, look, I can do a backflip, and no actual wrestling. We need to be able to have that storyline in check. And that's what WWE outside management is really good for. Hey, thank you for the thumbs up, whoever that was. But that's what management is really good at, telling guys that, hey, stop showing off what you can do, start telling the story a little bit more. And at the same hand, they kind of don't allow wrestlers to wrestle as much and show off those moves as much. It's a great balance of being able to show off the athleticism into a story in a match. And so I think it's supposed to be done there's a blend, and it's a fine line, but I think it can be done. Okay, so do you think wrestlers, okay, why don't you ask us the questions? I apologize. Good point. You're right. I just get caught up trying to read these questions as much as I can. So, okay, here you go. All right, so what do you think? Is it better for wrestlers to wrestle and have complete autonomous freedom in their matches? Or do you think it's better for the company to dictate how wrestlers wrestle like they kind of do now? What do you guys think? Let me know. Yeah, just on the top of his head. You're right. You're absolutely right, Mindes. Thank you. MNDS. My bad. Okay, ask some quick round questions. Okay, it's about sending people down to NXT. Yeah, we were talking about that. I gotta bring that back. Okay, get Hogan alert just to jump. Gawker. I think he made out pretty good against Gawker already. I don't think any more is needed. Have you ever been watch old wrestling shows on the network? Absolutely. Have I? Have I? Yes. Do you think when that comes for Hulk Hogan would say sorry? I don't like it anymore. I would love it if he did. It should be limited so they can work safe. MND says they should be limited so they can work safe. Okay, so safety is the primary caution for you. And I totally understand it. Safety first. But my thing about safety, thank you for the thumbs up. That's a good point. And my thing about safety, though, is if they are concerned about safety, then it goes to the other thing we're talking about, the offseason or lower schedules. So I want to see the consistency. If they really care about safety, then back off the schedule. That's what I think. I'm burnt out on the choreographed style. A performer has way more of a chance getting over if they can adapt to the crowd reaction. I agree to that. Thank you, City Midget. That's a very good point. I'm totally with you on that. Yeah, I agree with safety, but yep, the same hand. Let's not have the. I think they can do a better job to let their wrestling speak for themselves. Neville can do a lot more than he's showing off right now. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's true. He's limited. He's definitely limited in what he can do. Especially, I think, being a heel. I think for some wrestlers, being a heel limits them, too, because they have a hard time knowing how to still wrestle, but not getting over with the crowd by accident. I think that's also really hard for a wrestler to do. NWA, WCW, or a mix between late 80s WW and current New Japan. Okay. So I think they should let him do it. Yeah, Robbie Starr, Indies versus greater than WWE. I hear you on that. I don't necessarily 100% agree. There are tons of things about the Indies I like, but WWE, I just like them for their accessibility and their availability. And I grew up on it, nostalgia thing. Are you watching WWE CW? No, that I don't watch, because that makes me cry. That makes me sad. That makes me want to cry. I hated the fake ECW. Your thoughts? And I do have an episode about that coming out, so sit tight. Your thoughts on the CM Punk returning rumors? I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it too. That's where I'm at. I want it to be true so badly, though. So badly. Get injured either way. They get injured either way. Yeah, injuries happen. Thank you for the thumbs up, you guys. Thank you. they do get. I mean, injuries are almost unavoidable. I wish they were completely avoidable, but they are. You know, it's one of those things you kind of can't control. But I do think we can at least minimize them, and I think the schedule is a big part of it. At least give it a try and see what happens. Lower the schedule, if the same frequency of injuries happen, okay, well then you know it must be the style of wrestling and not, you know, the schedule or something else or some other X factor. But, you know, I think only by testing it out the waters will we find out what it is and therefore be able to prevent it. Okay, one of my friends brought up how awkward it would be if incest, the word brother, is in my home. I think that's, I think that would be awkward no matter what. If talent can't work, there is no reason to keep them on the roster. But there is a time limit. Like, if a guy's injured for like a week, I don't think you fire him. But I hear you. You know. But clarify, what do you mean by that, City Midget? Yeah, keep in mind. And thank you for, you know, MND for keeping me honest and reminding me to, you know, open it up to you guys. I can't thank you enough for that. I think the reason they limit the moves is so that WWE fans can remember the moves, especially for wrestling games, so that wrestlers could be more marketable on the limit. Yeah, look, I agree with you that I think video games have started affecting how WWE represents itself, so I do think that is a distinct possibility as well. I don't think WWE cares how safe people are. I don't think they do either. I mean, I think they do to some extent, but I don't think they care as much as they care. Like, how much does the NFL care about concussions for their players? Similar mentality. They care to an extent, but not too much that it affects their bottom line. If they do, a lot of things would change. Yep, it would, but I'm interested in seeing. And honestly, I'd like to see wrestlers sell longer than 10 seconds. Oh, yes, selling. One of the most underrated things there is, and I believe Sami Zayn is actually the best salesman in the business right now. Okay, Tyson is... So... and yes, and sell in parentheses because they don't really sell like as well as they should. But Sami Zayn, I think, is solid. Is a really good salesman. Tyson is in 2K18. Yay, fantasy booking. That's interesting. Who is Sting's best rivalry? I would say it was Ric Flair. Oh, I've gotten a question. I got in a conversation with some friends of mine. I have a lot of really big Sting fans as friends, and here's my thing. My personal answer. I know what it is, and I'm pretty sure it's wrong, but it's just how I feel. I say Rick Rude, but I know when you compare him to Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Vader, there's so many other guys that this thing has had feuds with, so the fact that I'm saying Rick Rude feels wrong, like it's not the right answer, but my friend said, no, that's a good answer, why are you, no, don't defend it, no, you're not wrong, like, so it's a weird thing. I feel like that can't be right, that's what I think. Best feud, Sting, Rick Rude, but I don't know. It just doesn't sound right. I feel like I have to be wrong, but I've had a lot of people defend me on that one. But good question. What do you guys say? What was Sting's best rival? Who do you say Sting's best rival is? And am I wrong for saying Rick Rude? What's better, NJPW or Ring of Honor? NJPW for me. I like it better than Ring of Honor. And it's for several reasons that not necessarily are outside of Ring of Honor's control. Like, Ring of Honor has a lot of their guys being, their locker room keeps getting raided by WWE more so than New Japan does. So the consistency that New Japan is able to have, I like. Also, in the fact that New Japan, there is something special about their major events that Ring of Honor really doesn't have. Like, there is no pay-per-view or event that Ring of Honor has that's as cool or as prestigious as the G1 or Wrestle Kingdom, in my opinion. So I would say New Japan is better for that reason. Lesnar suplexes are all his grappling moves. It'd be accurate. Okada and Omega continue to sell in their second match. Okay, yeah. When I said, selling underrated, yeah, I did mean WWE. I'm aware that more people sell elsewhere. Yes. Let me clarify that. The Sting-Hogan feud was built up well, but the ending sucked. Yeah, the ending did suck. But yeah, it was built. The build was great. Great, and it made total sense, but at the same time, you were still surprised by it. Ric Flair and Steamboat is really good, but an overused choice as the best Rick rivalry. Okay, yeah, I think it is. I think it's great, but yeah, I hear you. Sting versus WWE. That took 14 years. And how disappointing was it when he finally got into WWE? City Midget, watch an old Benoit versus Lesnar match. Yeah, Brock gets brutalized and Benoit suplex City. Yeah, well, Benoit can go. Always been a big Benoit fan. Always will be a big Benoit fan. NJPW wears the pants in the Ring of Honor. New Japan relationship. Fair enough. I mean, New Japan's the breadwinner. What is worse, overselling or underselling? Ooh, good question, Warhawk Rambo. What do you guys think? Worse, overselling, underselling? Good question. What do you guys think? Get it out there. Okay, give Kofi the WWF title match, please. I go back to when the Beast in the East or Beast whatever it was called. Special event they had where Kofi won against Brock. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Kofi has paid his dues. Great elimination. I wanted to win. You know what? I'm going to back you up with this. Kofi with all the goofy, not getting eliminated from the Royal Rumble. I think he should just win the Royal Rumble. I think he's due. Him and John Morrison. John Morrison not around, but there. Underselling is worse than overselling. Underselling is just horrible. Underselling. All right, you guys say underselling. Underselling is how Hogan wins matches. All right. Now, I was probably going to agree with you guys. Underselling does bother me because it not just ruins that match, but it ruins matches going forward because it becomes harder to take a lot of these moves seriously in the future. If you oversell, like The Rock was great at overselling, and you know what? You got a career out of it. Is it silly? Yes. Is it cartoony? Yes. But at least it doesn't compromise future matches as much. This match, this guy sold like a goofy jackass. Okay, and if he doesn't do it again, or if he does, and if he does again, it's just a shtick. If he never does it again, okay, well, he never does again, and no one really thinks about it. But if you undersell big moves and finishes and all that, it gets harder and harder every time. So I think underselling is more damaging than overselling. The best Ric Flair rivalry for me was versus Shawn Michaels / Vince McMahon, since Vince was the one forcing him to retire. Interesting. Question for me is, was that really a rivalry? I mean, I know they had the match, absolutely, but they were in a program together for sure, but were they feuding? I mean, it was a whole respect thing. I mean, you might have enjoyed the match the most, and and even if you like the whole thing, good for you. But I kind of viewed it as like a mutual agreement more than a true rivalry. But that's just how I take it. But that's at least you're the first to say that answer that in this chat, as far as I know. Okay. Ring of Honor is still too small for now. If WWE keeps doing bad, Ring of Honor will come up. Yeah, there's a possibility of that. Ring of Honor really needs to get... they need to get more presence out there. They took their shot and it didn't work out for them, which is kind of harsh for them, but national TV exposure, they need to do something for sure. I would love it if What Culture Pro Wrestling actually make a big hit. That'd be kind of nice too. Okay, so now... what is your opinion on Cornette and his tweet about Omega and Ibushi? Refresh my memory. I read it early this morning, but I was half awake. Catch me up on that, because I kind of think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure. Remember that tale of an old yellow comeback WrestleMania, and I'm going to take you out back and end your misery? Yeah. Okay, fine, that was kind of cold, but I mean, like, I get you, but you know what I mean. Like, I mean, I hear you, but yeah, you're right, but I think you know what I mean with the dropping the L-bomb at the end of the match, and also the fact that in real life, Shawn Michaels really is a huge Ric Flair fan. Like, I know Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are really good friends with each other too, but I don't know, there was just something about that match where you knew it was like a necessity thing, and you didn't take their hatred as serious. Like, you knew this was his farewell tour. And you know what it was. I mean, but like, that's me. But that's why I say it, because it didn't have the heat of it. Flair and Dusty, that's Flair's best feud for me. But Flair and but you didn't feel the hatred, even though it was fake. It was there. Okay, Cornette is on point. Okay, Hitler won. Okay, interesting. GFW could also be good competition to WWE if they book things well. They have the talent. Yeah, but here's the thing. I have no confidence that they are going to book well. I mean, yeah, they could be a threat. Anybody could be a threat. But I just have no confidence in Jeff Jarrett or that company, seeing the fact that how long they've been around and how long of an opportunity they had, and here's what they did with it. So I just don't have a lot of confidence. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I need to see a little more evidence before I support that idea or get excited to think it's a realistic possibility. Oh, Robbie Starr doesn't like Jim Cornette. He's an old man yelling at clouds and kids to get off the sidewalk. Well, okay. All All right, well, you got some truth to that, but I think Jim Cornette, great mind for the business. I think a lot of things, I agree with a lot of what he says, and I think he makes a lot of valid points. So, I'm still a huge Jim Cornette fan. I mean, yeah, he might be a cranky, mean old man, but, hey, we'll all get there, I mean, that's a dream, live to be a cranky old man. Live so long that everything annoys you. I don't know, but yeah, I like Cornette a lot, as you guys know. If you had your promotion and main objective is to generate money, would you let your wrestlers use all their moves, or would you limit them with fewer moves so that new fans get familiar with their moveset? Well, what do you guys think? You let me know that answer to that question, and I'll try to weigh in after I get caught up on the chat. But what do you guys think? If you had your own promotion, more moves, less moves. What do you think? Omega and Ibushi are essentially on the business. Their same tactics used to kill territories back in the day. Is that what Jim Cornette said, or is that what you're saying? Either way, okay, just curious. Except when he went to TNA and ruined AJ Styles. Okay, get off my sidewalk, Robbie Starr. EC3 is better than a good chunk of the WWE roster. WWE missed the boat on. Oh yeah, but they missed the boat on tons of people. You can't, and everybody misses the boat on somebody, don't they? GOW, good. I stopped watching when they got rid of the red ropes. WWE, from the business, Jim ran his WWE. The three Nature Boys are the only people to win both the WWE and the NWA and WWE. I don't know about. There are plenty of people who wait. NWA titles. Okay. All right. NWA and WWE titles. Who's better, Kurt Angle or Eddie Guerrero? My opinion, Kurt Angle. Quick question, Pepsi or Cola? Coca-Cola. I was just drinking it, and now I'm finished, and I'm sad that I have no one. If I met Cornette, I would buy him a cheeseburger and just get on the good side. I would too, Ray. Oh, Ray coming back. Yeah, me and you, buddy. Insane Nation, Bruno versus Hogan, Cena versus Austin, Flair versus Misawa. Pick one that you want to see. Ooh, you chose those really well. Bruno Hogan. Bruno Hogan, that's my answer. What do you guys think? Let me know. Who should WWE be pushing right now? Cesaro, only Tony Cesaro. That's going to be my answer till the end of time, until they actually start pushing him. Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow? Neither? Not a big fan of either. Wrestler's job is to convince the audience that this is a real fight while protecting their opponent from actual injury. What part of wrestling, blow-up doll, is believable? Yeah, well, here's the thing. There was another interview with good answer. We know it's not real. Here's the thing. Yeah, we know it's not real, but still, it's supposed to be a performance. We know movies aren't real, but still, we want to see it at least acted well, like Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad or something. We want to see him act well. If he was like some cheesy, awful, terrible actor we couldn't buy, the show wouldn't be as good. So yes, we know that it's not real, but that's not the point. It's about convincing this. And that's classic Jim Cornette thinking, is that you have to present this as if it was real. So, AJ Styles won the NW title in TNA and WWE at Backlash. Yes. Cade Welch, I hear what. Yeah, see, it took me a second to connect the dots on that, but I hear what you're saying. We have known from the 1930s. Yeah, like I said, it's not the fact that we know it's real or not. It's not about that. It's about the fact that how convincing acting is fake, and it's about, do you believe this? Do you at least for the moment, at least maintain aesthetic belief that this is real from what you're looking at. And you're supposed to get to that as much as possible. That's what I think. That's what I think fiction and entertainment is all about, fictionalized entertainment. Seeing how much they brought back dead celebrities in concerts like Tupac, Michael Jackson in hologram form, which past WWE wrestlers should appear at WrestleMania hologram form for a few minutes. What do you guys think? And my answer, I want Chris Benoit back. Pro wrestling requires suspension of disbelief. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Ric Flair, you know how many NWE titles he had. Flair, you know how many NWE titles he had in WWE at the Royal Rumble. Oh, I did a video on that, kid. And so we know that. When they throw it in your face and take the viewer out of it. Isn't it in the 70s where Jim came up with and he can't deal with it. Like I said, the thing about Jim Cornette is, yeah, people hate him for Buddy Rogers was on WWE at the same time. Yes, he was. Also covered that in a video as well. So cool, you know your history. I like that, Cade. So yeah, so the whole thing about it is Cornette. Yeah, all right. He's old school. He kind of is anti-fun at times. He doesn't like just let people have fun. And also when it comes to cranky old man, is he that? Yeah, absolutely is. But he still has a mind for understanding long-term strategy, and he may not, if I started my own wrestling company, he may not be, under me, he may not necessarily be my number one guy, but he would be on my team. He would be on my council. He is one of, a consortium of guys I would really want to be on my team. Paul Heyman would be my the guy for me. Paul Heyman would be number one, and Cornette would be number two. And then I would probably get someone who's a good, knows a retired wrestler to be my three-man. But that's the team I would assemble if it was me, because I like the components they would bring to the match if they could get along. Buddy Rogers wasn't okay. He's mad at what is going on in Japan. Okay. I wonder who will be the next Nature Boy. Me too. Bobby Roode, if he wasn't so old, wouldn't have been a bad candidate. Prime Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle, yeah, in a submission match. Who would you book to win? Yes, that would be my dream match for sure. I would put Bret only because the idea of Prime versus Prime, if it's Prime versus Prime, it has nothing to do with career momentum at this point. Now, it's just a matter of who you put over. And I like the idea of a bit of a swerve where the Canadian takes on the All-American because I think you're expecting the All-American guy to come out on top with a gold medal. But since he's a gold medalist and Bret goes over him, I think that looks good for Canada and Bret. So I think that is more beneficial. Once again, what do you guys think? How do you believe? To answer your other question, I am going to say I would let the guys go because I do believe in artist creative freedom. I would rein it in for them a little bit. I would definitely, I would definitely talk to them and let them know, keep the storyline, not just showing off your moves because I don't think that does well for anybody. Health-wise, safety-wise, money-wise, viewership-wise, appeal-wise, it works then. So I would give them some, creative criticism and let them know that it's a light cap, but I would want to see the creativity that they can pull off. How do you have a believable match after the guy who just wrestled blow-up doll? Yeah, okay, City Midget. There was another Jim Cornette interview that I heard where they were talking about the people were defending it, and they're not saying that the blow-up doll. No, the little girl match I don't think was that bad. I think they should have pulled it back more, but, he was doing silly things. Like, in the beginning, she just, punches him in the nose, and he just rubs his nose, and he's not selling anything. He just, she kicks him in the shin, and he just gets aggravated. If they stuck to that, fine. The blow-up doll, inexcusable. But the thing is, he didn't book that match. He was in it. So I feel it's kind of harsh to put the blame on Kenny Omega when he's doing what he's told. He's doing what his boss is told. I don't think you should always do what your boss is told. I do think if your boss is an idiot, you should fight it. But to a certain degree, so I'm not giving him a Nuremberg defense, but putting the hatred on Kenny Omega is weird because you should be putting it on the guy who came up with that idea in the first place. And I don't know that that's not Kenny Omega, but I'm pretty sure it was the company. From the interview that I saw, it was not Kenny Omega, it was the booker. And if that's the case, the heat belongs to the booker, not Kenny Omega, just for going along with it. You cannot like Kenny Omega for other reasons, and Nuremberg excuse doesn't work, but I'm just saying the most heat still goes to the booker, whoever came up with that idea. People forget that Cornette was during the most entertaining years of TNA 2006-2010. Also forget that he was there for a big part of the most entertaining WWE, Ring of Honor, and Ohio Wrestling, Valley Wrestling. A lot of big stars that we know, Cornette found them, used them well, put them out there, and maybe they changed when they got to the main roster like John Cena and Batista, but you can't blame NXT for having guys who were great there not being used as well on the main roster. So, yeah, Cornette has a lot of proof behind this stuff. Okay, so what do you think about Bret Hart's opinion on Ric Flair? He knows how to do one kind of match. I mean, here's the thing. Their feud was their real life backstage beef was supposed to happen. I just think, it was, passing, two passing ships in the night. One guy's time was starting, the other guy's was ending, and they're not going to get along. Just because they work very differently, but you can't, if you criticize Flair for having one type of match, yeah, fine. There are a lot of great wrestlers out there who are kind of limited, but as wrestling evolves, that's what the next generation's for. And, Bret also, from what I was told, took Flair's comments personally about how Brett couldn't draw house as well as Brett acts like he does, and that's, Braun wasn't the biggest money draw. He might have been one of the hottest things WWF had going at the time, but no, he was never a Hogan, he was never a Rock in terms of money drawing ability. And some people will say that's bad because how dare fans not appreciate good wrestling, but it is what it is, and you have to be aware of that. It's a show, yes. Kota Ibushi is pretty much Batman. Whoa, and his secret identity's out. And he's not rich enough to be Batman. That was in Japan, the blow-up doll things years ago. Yeah. Like I said, the girl match, in the beginning, it wasn't that bad. With the match with the little girl, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, just silly things. But it got out of hand. But you can't blame him solely. You have to blame the guy who came up with it. He deserves some beef, but not all of it. That's what I say. I think Jarrett gets, it was for DDT in Japan. Whoa, I'm all out of it. Okay. Okay, Kenny needed a job, and he did what he did was told him in Japan. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, you don't get away with the Nuremberg. All right, you should have said no, this is stupid, but don't put all the blame on Kenny Omega. Kota Ibushi or Zack Sabre Jr. Kota Ibushi is the better all-round wrestler for me, but Zack Sabre Jr., his particular style is very interesting to me. I think it's limited because I don't think that his crazy grappling maneuvers can work for everyone. So Kota Ibushi I think is more applicable. But so I'm gonna say Kota Ibushi, but I enjoy watching Zack Sabre Jr. more. Once again, what do you guys think? AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles versus Ric Flair in his prime, where's Ric Flair versus Buddy Rogers? Battle of the Nature Boys. Battle of the Nature Boys, that's what I'm going for. Shout out from LDN. All right, cool. Shout out to you back. Sting, HBK versus Sting, Guerrero versus Daniel Bryan, or Brian Pillman versus Dean Ambrose. Whoa. Dean versus Pillman. I know that might not be technically the best match, but man, I want to see. Guerrero versus Daniel Bryan would be the best pure wrestling match, but Pillman versus Dean, I really want to watch that. DDT in Japan. I think Jeff Jarrett gets more than he deserves. Agreed. He was a good heel back in the day. Yeah, in the mid-card division, that's what I say. The invisible hand grenade. Dick suplex. Disgraceful. Yes, I'm not arguing that. I'm not saying Kenny Omega hasn't done some terrible things. I'm not going to say that he hasn't. Hey, don't diss Joey Ryan. Don't diss. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up. The invisible hand grenade was funny. Yeah, I like that kind of nonsense in Chikara, but that's what Chikara is. Stupid wrestling, just that stupid. Okay, Brett's career ended before Rick's. Yes, I know. It's very weird. Very, very weird. I think about that all the time when a guy wrestles, retires early. Like, the fact that Wade Barrett has retired and Goldust is still wrestling. It's just weird to me. Who do you think is the most overrated wrestler in terms of in-ring ability? Shawn Michaels. No questions asked. I know I've just upset a lot of people, but that's just my opinion. Kota comes from a rich family. Lucky. It must be nice. Doesn't matter what the internet probably star. Yes, it does. Why? Look, here's the thing. I mentioned this a little bit. Shawn Michaels, his fan base and a lot of his popularity and what people like from him doing in the ring, has come from the faces he makes when he sells, his ability to be a performer and jump up and make dramatic wins and stuff like that. But you asked in-ring work. His move arsenal his move arsenal for me is not anywhere in comparison to Kurt Angle's or Brett's or Daniel Bryan. There's so many guys who have so many more moves than he does, and so that's so in-ring work. I think it's like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is known as a lot of people love him as a player, but the thing about Dennis Rodman is he's got great rebounds. Really nothing else outside of that. So okay, fine, great rebounds, but where's the rest of the Dennis Rodman argument? That's where I'm coming from. So, that's my thing. Why? Omega. I like that you guys are getting into it. Omega has said that he loved that match. It's one of his favorites. All right. Good for him. But, the blow-up doll, like I said, ridiculous. The little girl one's not as bad to me. That could have worked out okay. He worked that match out too. The blow-up doll is ridiculous. I will admit that, and I don't even think it's good for what it is. Not everyone has to do everything the way people in the USA want it done. That's true. It's okay for you to do it your way. The US way isn't always the best. Agreed. LDN is London. Oh. So I want to go to London so badly. And I actually have an invitation to go out to Germany. I have some German friends that I just met, but that's neither here nor there. As a wrestling fan, I was insulted. Now I get to try to defend my love for wrestling with this ridiculous BS out there as a representation. Lame. It's an art. Okay? And no one got right to tell others how to do their art. That's some consideration. That's some fairness to it. Although there have been things that have been called art outside of wrestling that I have to admit are very questionable, and I understand that you might be going too far. If you could only turn one heel, would you turn John Cena heel or Roman Reigns heel? That's a good one. Every time I'm about to answer, what do you guys think? Tell me, Cena or Roman, who would you turn heel? You can only turn one of them. Roman heel, Cena is part-time now. Ooh, all right, that's a good point. Sean is kind of like the Steelers, where if you point out a flaw, that state one comes. Point out a flaw that state one, come back 6 rings / 5 stars. Is New Japan the best promotion in the world? For a lot of people, yeah. As much as I have problems with the current product, I don't know, of WWE, yeah, New Japan, yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard to argue that New Japan actually is the best wrestling promotion in the world right now. Really hard to argue. It's disrespectful to performers coming after you. They have to start again from scratch to build excitement for the rest of their matches. Yeah, and like I said, like I have said, this is a hard job. Wrestling is a hard job. There's no argument there. It's not easy to do. And not anyone can do this. It takes a lot of dedication, and even the guys that you think are the worst wrestlers on the planet know more about wrestling than most people do. Yeah, occasionally there's some guy who just makes it to the dance, has no idea what they're doing, and we can tell. Ultimate Warrior. But Goldberg. But for the most part, these guys learn things. These guys understand things, and you have to appreciate the fact that they're putting their bodies on the line. At the same hand, though, it's still meant for us, our entertainment. If you're trying to entertain me, then realize that the fans are what makes you have a business. You can have a promotion, but if nobody's watching your promotion, you don't have a business. You have a backyard fed. That's the difference. So fans is what makes wrestling a business. What makes wrestling what it is. So that's why I think fan vote very important. So people in New Japan. Okay, so people in Japan. So think low. So people in Japan, so think how people in the U.S. feel. Interesting comment, Robbie Starr. Rainmaker was a parody of Bruce Lee in TNA. I think Okada has grown into his own. I think we can say that. Also, Samoa Joe, just like Jay Lethal might have started getting notoriety as a parody of Macho Man, but I think he grew into his own. Also, Samoa Joe got kidnapped by ninjas. Should care, says Robbie Starr. So, okay. How old do you think is too old to make it in WWE or NJPW? By make it, I mean main event, world title picture, or 2 or more years are off. Okay, good question. What do you guys think? Do you guys have an age out there? Let me know. Okada was a rookie back then, if I recall. For me, the thing is, let's say Goldberg never got to the WWE back in 2002. Let's say he first came about last year, like his current run. He would have made it to the main event, and he's, was like 50, so was that too old? I think it depends on the circumstances. How big you were in whatever company you came beforehand. Now, if you're going to start from scratch, how old? Ooh, that's a tough call. I really don't think, because people are aging a little differently, a little bit better now. Finn Balor, it's like, Finn Balor is 35-ish, I think, mid-30s, and, he's still considered a young and up-and-comer. So I think 40 would probably be the cap. That would be my first thought. I think tag titles should be on SmackDown and women's titles not on Raw and not have both shows like they do it now. Yeah, and I really think that the brand split should also just come to an end because it seems to be coming that way. I never wanted it back in the first place. But yeah, I do think they kind of muddled up the field too much and diluted it by separating and having 2 titles on each show. Remember when? But also, they had a plethora of tag teams on both shows, but they ruined it now because they split all of them up, or most of them up. So the tag team belts, not so much, but women, yeah. They definitely spread themselves a little too thin. Remember when Jeff was high off his ass? Hard to forget that. I bet you Sting remembers. I also met Warrior when I was 4. He said, "That is the most awful thing I ever heard, Ray." Yeah, okay, well, then I definitely don't feel bad about taking shots at the Ultimate Warrior. Okay, you know what? That's good for everyone to know. Because I hadn't been a Warrior fan since I was a little kid. I never met him, but when I was a little kid, I liked Ultimate Warrior, and then as I got older, it just got worse and worse, and now finding that out, yeah, that is terrible. And, he has said, believe me, and we all know that's not the first terrible thing he said. He's definitely said a lot of bad things. Yeah, I'm just going to say that out there. At Wrestle Kingdom. Okay. Is it just me, or does Okada and Rick have small similarities? They do. I also, I've made this comparison before, where I see a lot of, a better version of Randy Orton and Okada. But yeah, Ric Flair and Okada definitely have some similarities. Yeah. 40 is the Kevin and JPW. Yep, I hear you. Any more episodes of the Monday Night Wrong? All right, I like that you like that show. I like that you're answering. And yes, in fact, kind of working on one right now while we're doing this. It should be out on Monday. Good question. All right. Wow, it seems like a lot of people feel this way about Ultimate Warrior. Okay. Next on this promo, Jeff Harvey. I'm assuming you mean Jeff Hardy, please. Okay. I've had a few requests for the Honest promos, but good to know Jeff Hardy is a candidate. So I got a couple of people I got to get to first. So sorry, so I can't make them next, but I already got plans for that. But I hear you. Jeff Hardy, good one. Okay, I like Warrior as a kid, but yeah. See, that's the thing, and I never met him, but they say never meet your heroes. But there you go. Yeah, that's one of the things he said. Yep, that's one of the things he said. Warrior was a waste. His entrances were longer than the match itself. Yeah, but yeah, no, that's true. That's just true. Okay, the only reason I hesitated on it is because Cornette has said that Warrior is the worst pushed wrestler of all time. I say Goldberg, and Goldberg's another one whose entrances were longer than his matches sometimes. So here's another one. All right, so. Is there anything I haven't answered that I was supposed to answer? And I apologize. I've been trying to keep up the chat. But thank you guys. Oh, I haven't thanked you guys enough for coming out here. I haven't thanked you guys enough for being here, keeping this fun, enjoying things. And just so you know, I am missing one of my best friends. Baby showers for this. It's also because as a dude, thank you for the thumbs up, whoever that was. It's because also as a dude, I kind of feel like I'm not supposed to go to baby showers. I know that's a thing that, guys are doing nowadays, but I don't know. It feels kind of weird. So just letting you know. And he ran into the ring. Yep. He killed Rick. Warriors WCW run was real awful. Oh, boy, was it. Oh, boy, was it. He destroyed Honky Tonk's reign in 30 seconds. Yeah, that was a mistake as far as Mr. S or Meek from WWE. Ooh. I think I'm going to go with Sean Stasiak on this one because I always thought his dad was underrated. His dad was underrated too, so the fact that both of them were underrated, I was like, oh man, how many Stasiaks do we have to go through before one gets treated okay? Do you think Honky Tonk's reign needs to be broken? Yes, I do, actually. Yes, I do. Honky Tonk, first of all, Honky Tonk got it by playing hardball backstage politics, and Honky Tonk is not one of the greatest wrestlers of all time and nowhere near close to it, so I think that needs to be able to. Jeff or Matt? Oh, who's better? Good question. Guys, weigh in. Matt or Jeff? Come on. You gotta give me some weigh-ins, because I have my answer. I know who I'm going to say, and this has been a huge argument I've had with one friend in particular about who's better, Matt or Jeff. So, come on, guys, start weighing in before I give my answer. What do you guys think, Matt or Jeff? Tommy Dreamer or Sandman? Matt. Diggy says Matt. Robbie Starr says Matt. John Cena should be one that should break it and icy run. That's an interesting thought. Matt. Honky Tonk Man was entertaining, but still, yeah, that's where I'm at. I feel you, Warhawk Rambo on that one. Jerry Lynn versus RVD had the best matches in ECW. Absolutely one of my favorite matches of all time. Now they've had more than one match, but I think I go back and forth, but I think the first one is my favorite. If I had to pick one, only one. Just matches are more interesting. City Midget says Jeff. Matt, but when he was younger. Okay, Nikki Bella. Oh, JK. Okay, so my official answer is I agree. I'm surprised all you guys said this, but I agree. It's Matt. Matt, because with the Broken Hardy's gimmick, you should see that he has a brain for creativity. As an actual wrestler, no pun intended, Matt was the better in-ring worker. Jeff, more entertaining by far more entertaining, doing crazy stuff, but in terms of actual in-ring work, I say Matt. So I say that Matt's proven creativity. He's proven that he has, and he's been worked in storylines a little bit better, like his feud with Edge and everything like that. His feud with Edge, I cared more about than any feud Jeff Hardy has ever had. And Matt Hardy, I agree with you. And I felt that I've been on, the low end of the pool when I've said Matt in the past, because I have one friend who vehemently disagrees with me about that and says Jeff all day and thinks I'm crazy for saying Matt. So I'm surprised that so many of you guys back me up on this. Jeff sells better. Matt is a better wrestler. Yeah, I think that's fair. But how much is Jeff selling and how much is he actually hurt? There's a question. Jerry Lynn, Matt Hardy should be on the creative team. Question is, could he do it for everyone, or is he one of those guys who's just good at doing it himself? But I would like to see what would happen if Matt went into booking, and I wouldn't be surprised to see booking in his future as when he retires. All right, so season chat's winding down. Thank you guys for coming out. To everybody, all you guys who've been here. Thanks. Oh wait, hold on. Let me retouch on the thing I wanted to talk about earlier. So, what do you guys think about the whole NXT Superstar Shake-Up possibility? That if you don't know, there's rumors saying that they're going to do another Superstar Shake-Up after Summerslam, and this time it's going to involve NXT. NXT guys can move up, and also guys can move from the main roster to NXT. So, what do you guys think about that? Give me your thoughts on this, guys. Is this stream acceptable in the 80s? I think so. Matt Hardy was much better worker than Jeff, but because of the style Jeff had, people always talk about Jeff more than Matt. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, take care. I'm not going yet. Okay, I want to talk about this first, the NXT Superstar Shake-Up yet, but I'll get to you later. We'll say goodbye later. But I just remember I wanted to talk about that. Who would you book the Road to WrestleMania for female Royal Rumble winner? I think it has to be Charlotte. I think she's been on. I think we need to bring her back to the throne, and I think I would say Charlotte, because I also thought Charlotte probably should have won the. I think Charlotte. Yeah. Okay. Old school Brock or Cena? Old school Cena or current Cena? I know it's old school Brock, but did you mean also old school Cena as well? Live long and prosper. We're not going yet. I'm going to stick around for just a little bit. Is it good to send people to NXT if they are a limbo on main? Yeah, that's the question. What do you guys think? It is good. That's what you think. Dolph to NXT. See, here's the thing. As soon as that rumor started out, everyone said Dolph. It's like, Dolph! And Jeff, too, really. I would love to see Jeff in NXT just for the NXT. You're better in NXT, so it's cool. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like Bailey back to NXT or something like that. How, not who. I'm not really a fan of the shakeups. I'm not either. I'm not a fan of the brand split. I'm not a fan of shakeups. I'm not a fan of what the last shakeup did either. Because SmackDown has suffered ever since the last shakeup. They just haven't done it right. Just Cena. Old school Brock. Cena now versus old school Brock. Old school Brock. I'll take old school Brock Lesnar. OSW review. Yes. NXT could always use some gatekeepers. Also Finn for one takeover. Just down Darren Young. Okay, now here's the thing. Here's my other question for you guys. Is NXT still a step down? Do you still view it as developmental? Do you still view it as a step down, or is it kind of its own brand by this point? What do you guys think about that? Team with Velveteen Dream, Finn to SmackDown. I wouldn't mind Finn to SmackDown. Like, I want all my wrestlers on one show. I want Cesaro on SmackDown so bad. I really do. Harper should go to NXT with Rowan if they don't have anything to do with it. See, here's the thing. So, It is a step down. You guys still view it a step down, but oh wait, no. Oh, what? It's a bit of both. Nope, same thing. Step down. No, NXT is not a step down. Okay, yeah. See, I'm the thing that NXT is its own brand. I like it better, and I think it once upon a time was developmental, but I really don't think it is. NXT is the minors. See, this is a tough one, isn't it? Like we go both ways on this. NXT is wrestling. Main is a show. Yeah, it's so difficult to call. NXT is the highlight, of the See. It's a tough call. Okay, see, here's the thing. So if you view NXT as a step, thank you for the thumbs up. If you, whoever that was, I didn't mean to yell that at you if it came across that way. Okay, so here's the thing. If NXT is a step down, then no, they shouldn't be brought that way. But NXT, I don't view it as such, so it's different. Asuka called up for Bayley. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Now, the only possibility I see is, so if you don't view it as a step down, then yeah, go for it. If it is a step down, on the other hand, then yeah, it could be very damaging to people's careers. You're not going to help them by sending them back to the minors if it is the minors. Dolph Ziggler is the first person that everyone thought of. Now, I like Dolph Ziggler a lot, but he's never had a great match. I don't know if that's booking's fault or if it's his. So, and also there was an earlier comment about Dolph possibly quitting. Well, hey, he has had plenty of opportunities and he keeps sticking around, so I don't think he wants to. I think he's perfectly happy where he's at, win or lose. But, Dolph's gotten the opportunity to step up the plate, and he hasn't. I don't know why he hasn't, but he hasn't. And that is an issue that might say that maybe he's not as good as everyone thinks he is. Maybe I'm wrong about it, too. Of the week, WrestleMania and Royal Rumble restricted their participation so that they don't outshine people on the main roster. Oh, yeah, unless they're planning on push like Corbin. Ugh, I hate Corbin so much. What call-outs would do to see in the Rumble? Yeah, okay, what call-outs would I like to see in the Rumble? Bobby Roode. I think I'm ready for Bobby Roode, which was going to be... I see NXT as TV training. Since they have so many TVs in the Performance Center, though, I still wonder, is it TV training? Yeah, I hear you to a certain degree, though, but okay. I hear you, Ray. But it's a solid point. I also put The Rock in NXT. He needs to improve his sharpshooter. Oh, he definitely does. I don't know if there's enough NXT in the world to fix that, though. DC needs to be in New Japan in the Bullet Club. That's not bad. Dolph's job is as a mid-card jobber, and he's been doing well with it since the Spirit Squad. Ouch, Kabibble, City Midget. Dolph is modern-day Kurt Hennig, and Bobby Roode, modern-day Rick Rude. Ooh. I hear you too. I see the comparison, although I will say I want more for both Kurt Hennig and Dolph and Bobby Roode and Rick Rude. I want more from them than that. Dolph for Ring of Honor or New Japan, just in my opinion. Okay. No, Dolph doesn't need to be Bullet Club job staff. I just think he would fit in pretty cool there. I would kind of like to see him in the lead spot. DZ versus Gun. Okay, so with the Shake Up and everything like that out there, with the Shake Up and all that NXT guys, Dolph going down, what I would see is Dolph, Bobby Roode coming up, and I think Darren Young wasn't a bad pick either for guys to go down, but they're down to NXT. If it is a downgrade, then guys like Darren Young, who have proven that they're not main roster ready, Aiden English, absolutely, you put them into NXT down. If you're being treated as an old, but here's where the difference lies. If you're making it its own brand and you just want to take star power to put in NXT to make it its own brand, then okay, I want to see Cesaro play in NXT. I want to see what he can do in a pure wrestling environment. We've seen him in NXT with Sami Zayn, done great work. Well, what if he was there full time? Then I want to see stuff like that. Thank you for the thumbs up. Whoever that was. Cesaro. See, yeah, exactly. Cesaro in the Bullet Club. I've been thinking that too. Cassius Ohno to SmackDown. Not bad. Bullet Club is super over. They are. Ohno to Raw. To Reform Reality Kings. The Reformed Kings of WrestleMania. Rick Rude to Kurt Hennig were better wrestlers, but still. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Absolutely. I knew it. I didn't think you didn't mean that. You meant it the other way. Wrestling. Bro. Love why bro out. Okay. Luke Harper NXT. Man, a lot of people were saying Luke Harper to NXT. Oh, did you also see Bray Wyatt's tweet about a possibility of a Wyatt's reunion? Teasing that. Maybe nothing. Maybe foreshadowing. Cut the music. Okay, so Well, I take off my nice, Kate. All right, Kate, okay, so that's what I think. So I think it depends. So if you're looking at NXT as a step down, then fine. Darren Young, Aiden English, guys like them, definitely send them back down. They need a little more seasoning. But then if you're looking at it as trying to form its own brand and make new stars by guys who aren't being used well, Dolph, Cesaro, and maybe Sami Zayn, but I'm not 100% committed to that. But yeah, you can send those guys down to NXT because they could be huge stars, and Bayley too, and maybe even Emma, and show your marking sweat hogs. Yeah, King Ross is great. Okay, so. All right, so chat's winding down. Got that out there. Thank you guys so much, and thank you guys for talking and Ascension to NXT. Yeah, they got to do something with them. You know, here's the thing. I didn't even like the Ascension to NXT. I thought they were like the Authors of Pain, where they were just like, you know, big, beefy no-sell machines. And then when they got to the main roster and they weren't using them right, then I got mad. So there you go. Peace, brother. All right, Face Man, thank you for coming out to the show. Thank you so much for everything you said. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to you, NZ Nation. But we just had a shake-up. I agree. Too many, too much, and the last one wasn't even good. Even though it had good ratings, and that's kind of why they want to do it again. Everything after it made ratings go down, but they just ignore that. Oh, man. All right, Ray. Thanks. Take care. For life. Yeah. Sweet. See you next week. Take care. See ya. See ya, Face Man. Robbie Starr, take care. Take care, my man. You too, Robbie Starr. Thank you for coming out. City Mention, I hope you're still there. Diggy, thank you for coming out, and thank you for the love from London. Do they need a secondary title for NXT? No, I don't think they do. That I don't think at all. I think the titles change fast enough, and we're used to the move. We're used to the movement, so I think I don't think they need a second title for NXT. The Ascension to Best Endeavors, yeah. City Midget. I hear you on the Ascension. Thank you for coming out again. Warhawk Rambo, thank you for being here as well. I don't want to miss anybody, but you guys, thank you so much for coming out here. And wait, nice. You got me to wave back. Look, that Insane Nation. Take it easy. Diggy, take it easy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you everybody who's been here. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Raw Critic. Thanks for the show, Dave. Thank you, City Midget, because like I was saying, it's only a show because people are watching. It's only a show because my fans are here. So it's only a show because you're here. So thank you. Thank you so much. And I will catch you guys soon. And thank you again for being here, part of the show on Dave Knows Wrestling.